Oh, my orchid. Still here, still struggle busing. Hello, everyone. I'm just kidding. Hey, guys, welcome to Vault of Luna is here. Poetic Nature is here. 0808. African Crystal Goddess says, I haven't missed anything yet. Pop bottles. Pyong, pyong, pyong. Guava Berry Moon is here. Hey, it's so good to see you. Oh, my goodness. Alyssa. Okay. Kiana. Zara. Shirley. Thank you. I got my hair done earlier today. Just a little bob action. Just a little cut. Little snippy snip. Take off the edges a little bit. The edges. What do you call it? The ends. Clip the ends, the split ends. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of stars and hearts. Ashley is here. Brianna is here. Zoya is here. Whitney is here. Eric is here. He just texted me saying, yes, I am here. I saw you, boo. Bella is here. Tatiana Gilbert. Okay, we got Solange. We got Just Choose You. We got Tasha. Dreams to Reality. Maya, Deborah, Whiskey. Did I say Whiskey? Eric says, sorry, phone was on Do Not Disturb. African Crystal Goddess. Okay, Maria, Becky, Kristen. Oh my God, look at that. The hearts and the fire. That is dope. I love that emoji combination. I speak fluent emoji, so I love seeing those things popping off. Okay, so we got some butterfly emojis. Rose Quartz Beauty is here. She says, hi. Okay, Aaliyah is here. Good to see you too, girl. A lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiar names. So we are doing, unicorns. Duh. I love a unicorn moment. Some crystal ball action. I hope you guys are cool with me just being really chill and laid back right meow. I went for a walk with Franklin. I've been busy all day. Most of the day was getting ready and filming for you guys and pulling charts. And then I got my hair done. So that was like a quick blip. That kind of made me a little late, but it was worth it. So I'm just chilling. Let me tell you, you guys, before we dive into Astro Live Chat, I'm giving everyone some time to join in. Let me tell you, I went for a walk. I took Franklin for a walk because I have promised myself, speaking of dehydration and making sure that there is work-life balance and making sure that I am thriving, that I am good. One of the things that I promised myself with this move is, and also with New Orleans, when I was living in New Orleans, is to take time out, decompress and disconnect from pulling charts, from answering questions, from looking at social media. And thank you, Lavender Williams. She says, nice hair. I love it. Thank you so much. And so one thing that I do now is I go for a walk or I play with Franklin. I've been going to the gym. It's been really nice. On this walk, you guys, I was looking down at Franklin and I heard this noise and it sounded like something was pushing air out. Like it sounded like a manatee. Like I've heard a manatee before, and I was right next to the water and there wasn't a lot of animals nearby. Like there wasn't a lot of, I wasn't expecting any animals, but it's possible because of my environment. And I look up and there is a dolphin. I shit you not, like 2 car lengths away from me. Now that sounds like a lot, but it's not a lot. That's a little. It was so close. This big dolphin. I didn't realize how big dolphins are. This thing was so huge and it was just coming up for air. And I was like the only one to see it, which felt really special. It was there. It wasn't like I was the only one to notice it at first, right? Thank you so much, Alicia. I love the what is the pear? I love that pear thing. She says, hey you. Yeah, so this dolphin emojis, I'm seeing you guys dolphin emojis, comes up out of nowhere. And it was just taking its time, coming up and getting some fresh air. And it was so close to where I was at. And it felt so special, so significant. And then this couple comes up. They were so cute. They come up and they sit on the water. And I guess the dolphin saw them and he was gone. I tried to get a video of it. I tried to get a photo of it. And my phone was saying storage full. And I was like, damn, the timing of it. But it was so significant because, again, it just was like confirmation for me that I was on the right path, that I was taking time out for myself, no phones, no videos, no nothing. Although I did take a photo with Franklin. You guys can catch it on my personal Instagram. But it's all about catching your breath and going with the flow and being creative and having fun and good vibes. Sierra Ariel says, I remember seeing a sea turtle for the first time. Yo, the sea turtle was my animal totem to help me to get down here. So yeah, it wasn't that I needed the confirmation that I was on the right path. It was just additional confirmation into what I was already feeling, which was really, really nice. So anyways, how are you guys feeling? I'm hoping that you guys are good. I'm feeling a lot of positive energy. Nike316 says, frogs are nice too. I totally agree with you. They remind me of singing your song and create fertility. That's what frogs always send to me. Unique says, did you move to Florida? Yes, I did, my love. I'm currently in Florida and I feel good. And she says, I feel well rested. Me too. I definitely feel well rested and very relaxed and very happy, very filled. I don't know if you guys caught my video from earlier today, but I had a little orchid blossom that fell earlier. I've been keeping this here for the most of the day, but I'm going to bring this to my altar later on. Catherine says, I feel emotionally overwhelmed even though I can rest. Definitely take your time. My mom and I were talking about this weekend that just passed. We were very emotional. There's a lot of things for no reason. Everything was kind of triggering us emotionally, and when I say no reason, I mean there wasn't a whole lot of triggers in our external environment, but there's a lot going on in the planets. Specifically Neptune. Neptune is doing the most when it comes to our sensitivities. So when you start feeling yourself wait, hold on. Oblivion says, I pulled a card today that stood out to me all evening, which was a manatee, and you saying the word see is just a sign. Loving this. Absolutely. I Cool Kid says, hey, heart, 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 fire, 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 and the protection. I appreciate the protection. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the super chat. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So Neptune right now, currently, if you guys see me looking down, it's because I'm using my laptop to do live with you so that we can get more environment, more vibe together. And I also am having the chart is pulled up on my phone. For those of you guys that can't tell, this is the chart that is on my phone. Okay, so the light is not, are we gonna do this? No, it's not working. I promise you the chart is here on my phone. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. But anyways, Neptune has definitely been doing the most lately. Let me pull it up. Yeah, definitely. Still, even, oh my God, the mess that Mercury and Neptune is going to create this week. As I'm looking at the chart, I'm remembering it. I have my notes. Do you guys have your snacks? Are we good? Are we ready to go? Do we have our notepads? Do we have snacks? Do we have tea? Do we need water? I'll give you guys like 15 seconds to go grab your Cheez-Its or whatever. Thank you so much, Jody, for this little dancing exercise. Peach, he's like, give me the namaste. Literally, I feel like I'm connecting with a peach. Is it a peach? It's a pear. It's got to be a pear. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate the love so much. Okay. Alicia's says snack run. She's gonna go go get her snacks. Alicia, let us know when you come back with your snacks, girlfriend. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh my God. Someone says I've been dreaming about the sea for the last 2 months. What does that mean? I will do a video. Okay. Tasha says she has her snacks and her water. Good. Emily says, I love you. No, I love you more. Someone has pudding. Yo, me too. There is this new pudding that I've been loving so much. Someone has sour cream. There's a lot of creamy treats that we got going on here. Someone says, quoting me, say, yo, go get your cheese nips or whatever. I have Cheez-Its, but let me know if you guys prefer cheese nips or Cheez-Its. Which one? Okay, Caitlin has her kombucha. Okay, perf. Guava Berry says, all set. Eric has his red wine, which is fantastic. Okay, perfect. All right, so we're ready. Where is Alicia? Did Alicia come back with her snack? All right, you guys. So first thing that I want to talk to you about is a deviation from what I was going to do, a deviation from the order of things, and that is Mercury and Neptune. And the reason why is Neptune is creating a lot of energetic sensitivities, but also chaos. It is very important. It doesn't matter your earth sign or yeah, it doesn't matter your sun sign or your rising sign or your Mercury. If it's an earth, if it's fire, if it's air, if it's water, it is so important looking at the chart that we are taking time to ground ourselves, to center ourselves. There is a time and a place for everything. I promise you, there is a time to rev the engine and to hit the go. There is a time to take your moment, to stop and catch your breath, to pause. There's a time to end some chapters, to close some chapters, to begin a new cycle. It's not for the majority of us, we're celebrating, getting really close to celebrating the new year. We're saying goodbye to 2019 and 2020. This is something that I said in our video for this week. If you guys didn't catch it, it's up there for you to replay, but we'll catch it afterwards. Don't leave. Stay with me, and we'll do that live chat, and then you can catch up on it later. But you don't want to have this mindset that January 1st, 2019 is going to be the start of you setting your intention. There's a reason why people setting resolutions, New Year's resolutions, they don't work out, because 9 times out of 10, the timing of what's going on in the planets does not support it. The way that we have established our calendar is not in alignment with the stars and the planets and most things. It's just a failure, honestly. That our ability to work with time and work with dates is really cattywampus, is what I'm going to call it. So now is a good time, especially after this full moon, but definitely on the new moon, which is going to be around the 25th or the 26th. I can't remember. I have a lot of dates and symbols and messages in my head. So it's around the 25th to 26th is when you want to set the intention before the new moon starts. Thank you to I think her name was Caitlin, who just sent me a tip via PayPal. I really appreciate that. I have my phone in front of me so I can see notifications going on. I really appreciate that so much. And the significance of the number that you sent is really powerful. But it's the new moon is when you want to set the intention. But before that, you guys, you want to respect timing. All of us. Again, it doesn't matter what your sun is, your rising sign, your Mercury, your Venus, your Neptune, none of it. So what you want to do is you want to look at what the planets, what they're currently bringing, the type of energy that they're currently bringing. Neptune has had my attention for the last 2 weeks, definitely last week and definitely this week. So this is going to be 3 weeks that Neptune has had my attention. I know, honey. I know you're so afraid. Oh no, Franklin is here, you guys. Let me hold him. He gets so nervous with the doors around this time. So I hope you guys don't mind him hanging out with me. But yes, Brandy says you still look like a bag of money. You know. You gotta take care of yourself. I like to take care of myself. If you guys see him shivering, it's because he's a little nervous with the noise. He's normally a pretty bold baby, but around this time, it's like 7 o'clock, the doors, my neighbors start opening and closing doors, and is not comfortable with it yet. Oli says, I pulled the High Priestess this evening, and no joke, 2 minutes later, I got your notification. Love you, Jess. I appreciate that. I love you. And I've been seeing the High Priestess a lot lately, which is perfect. Thank you for saying that, Boo, because the High Priestess is about it's about most people don't like to talk about this, but this is what I'm going to start off with saying. It's about balancing the dark, the shadow, and the light. It's about learning how to work with both aspects and sides of ourselves, the spiritual, definitely the spiritual and the physical world, in the way that resonates as truth for us. Oh, Bubba. Here, you want freedoms? You want freedoms? I can't hold you this entire time. Here, just chill right here. And it's about using your intuition, but also being humbled and being open to the process, and also boundaries. If we have people and things having access to us, if there's food or certain type of stuff that steals or drains our energy, it's going to take away from our intuitive gifts. It's going to create imbalance, and it's a process of being humbled that allows you to connect with that, to strengthen those gifts, and to not, get pushed off one way or the other, if that makes any sense, right? That to me has always been, especially in my own High Priestess journey, especially in my own spiritual journey, is that it's not all about intuition and secrets and, the unknown. because it's not that it's unknown. It's all answers that can be found within when you quiet yourself, when you ask the questions internally, and you're open to being humbled to the entire process, that you know that you do not have all the answers, but you're constantly, things are constantly presenting themselves through your intuition as timing comes, when the timing is right. That's the balance. There's balance in all of the tarot. There's balance in all of spirituality. There is no one extreme or all of the other extreme. There has to be a healthy balance with everything, including the shadow and the light sides of ourselves. And that's the thing that I'm seeing with Neptune this week. That's really kind of has my attention, is the balance can be easily disrupted. In fact, one of the books that I've been drawn to lately is a book on boundaries. It's not just physical boundaries in our personal lives, but in our spiritual lives, with the way that the world is progressing, with social media and those types of things. And it's so important that we have healthy boundaries, and even with ourselves, when we know, okay, this is, without this, I am susceptible, I am vulnerable in a way that makes me open to attack, that makes me open to imbalance, that could be detrimental to me in all aspects of my life, right? So when Neptune has been doing the most with the sun represents our vitality. This is a revisit from last week. What happens is our bodies, our physical bodies, become the highlight. Neptune sensitizes this and sensitizes our bodies. Someone asked me, I forget who it was, but she's a part of the Sacred Circle, my Sacred Circle Tarot School. She asked me, Jess, why is it that you're saying that we are so vulnerable and open to food poisoning, and also to get sick during this time last week? Well, it's because the sun, representing our vitality, squaring off with Neptune, it can create infiltration is the word that I'm going to use, where things, pathogens or things that shouldn't be in your energy, shouldn't be in your vibe, you might ingest them, because that's the energy that you're working with. It could be the food that you're consuming. It could be a person that makes you feel sick. Sometimes, of course, it's mind, body, soul, spirit. So it can present itself physical ailments where you feel nauseous, you have headaches, you wake up with a headache for no reason, for seemingly no reason. And the reason why is because your body, and the way that the planets work, is it's saying, listen, this is our chance and our time to show you that there's something in your environment that is taking away from your vitality, taking away from your life energy, and not adding to it, not in a good way. And that is the energy that Neptune will bring. And also, connecting with the sun. So I hope that makes sense. If you guys feel drained, a lot of you guys have been feeling exhausted. There's different sides to this where you feel really exhausted. You feel emotionally sensitive. You feel very weepy, almost achy. It can be an emotional side. It can be mental. You just feel a little drained. Noise, movement, chaos, all of anything that's, in the environment around you that kind of feels like rubber bands. That's how it kind of feels like to me when, people are too loud or the energy around me is too loud. It's like rubber bands popping. It's like, can you stop? I need you to slow down. I need you to respect my space, just, stay in your lane. It's not that I don't love you. It's not that I don't want to listen or I don't want to see what it is that you're talking about. It's just, I need you to respect my space because you are in my zone, right? So that's kind of what sun and the squaring of sun and square Neptune last week was doing. Now this week, on the 20th, Mercury, it's just, there's a lot going on. It's not just this one transit, it's all of the transits when I look at this entire chart. So write this down. On the 20th, you guys, so the 20th is when it's exact, but it's the 19th, it's the 18th, and the weekend to follow it. So wait, is the 20th? Let me see when the 20th is. Yeah, the 20th is on Friday. Let me tell you, if you are in a relationship, any relationship, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a family, something. It could be with a coworker, a boss. When I'm looking at the chart, there is, number one, there's a certain level of miscommunication and misinformation, crossing wires, not understanding each other. The word is lost in translation. The reason why I want to say this is because it's almost like you guys are speaking different languages. You're not on the same wavelength. This is because Mercury is moving through the sign of Sagittarius. Mercury sees the bigger picture. He's not even thinking about small, like the smaller details. He's thinking about the bigger details of things. He's thinking about the bigger picture. He's jumping ahead of himself, like really leaping ahead. And what's happening is that, and this is actually could be far worse than Mercury retrograde, but a lot of astrologers on the internet aren't talking about things like this. When we have Mercury squaring off with Neptune, we have a recipe for, I'm sorry, what? Like, I didn't hear what you said. I didn't know what you're saying. This is when you hear, you hear someone talking to you and you know that they're saying something, but you can't hear what they're saying. Even if they're speaking English, you can't pick up what it is that they're saying. It just keeps like going right over your head and you just start to smile. Have you guys ever done that? Like, let me know, give me thumbs up or give me hearts if you've ever done that before, where someone says something to you and you're like, I'm sorry, what? And then they say it again and you're like, wait, what? And then they say it again and you're like, oh, yeah, it's cool. And they're just like, ask you a question. The reality is you didn't hear what they said. Like, you're just, now it's fucking awkward. Pardon my French. Now it's awkward. And I don't know. It's just like a weird, that's kind of what we're getting here is if you actually hear them, I'm getting a lot of thumbs up, yeah. Someone said this, they have to do the smile and nod. Mm-hmm. Yep. Like, what's your name? Tracy. What is it? Tracy. That's my name, Tracy. Oh, okay. And you're like, in your head, you're like, I didn't hear what the fuck she said. Like, for whatever reason, you're just not picking up what's getting put down. The message just goes right over your head, whatever it is that they're saying, right? Let's say you actually do hear from someone. Let's say someone said, wait, Lavender Williams says my entire life. Yo, for real. It just creates a recipe for awkward. If you're in an intimate I don't want to say intimate relationship, but I'm getting a really strong focus on intimate and romantic communication relationships. This is not only just physical here now. This is also people who have passed on. These are people that you love, that you're trying to communicate with. You would actually have a better time communicating with those who have passed on. I know some of you guys are not into it, or this is controversial for you. I get it. If this is not your speed, if this is not your cup of tea, then just skim right over it and pretend like I never said it. But for those of you guys that do want to connect with those who have passed on through your meditation, through dream work, this is the time for you. If you lost a brother or a sister, if you lost a best friend, if an uncle, a grandparent, and you're trying to connect with them, or if you're open to connecting with them, this is a great time for that type of energy work. It's not just the 20th, it's the days around it, although it's exact on the 20th. However, when it comes to physical here on Earth, looking at the planets, right? We have Venus moving into the sign of Aquarius. She's in Capricorn currently. And we have Saturn, we have Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. We have Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn. We have the Sun in the sign of Sagittarius, Mercury in the sign of Sagittarius. So what's going to happen if you look at all of this, if you look at the details and then you take a step back, this is something that I teach a lot in my Sacred Circle Tarot School, that I mention a lot, that if you want to really perfect your astrology, if you really want to perfect your tarot and your intuition, it's a combination, a healthy balance of stepping in and looking at the finer details and taking a step back and looking at the bigger picture and this dance that it is that you're doing. And if you don't hear it, if you don't know, be humbled and ask again, what? It's like this asking for clarity, asking for communication, right? The problem is that what people are saying, or what they are trying to say, is a little off kilter. Either you're not picking up and you're receiving it, or you're not understanding, or the way that they're saying is really hard for you to put the pieces of the puzzle together. What happens is that when we have this with Venus moving into the sign of Aquarius, which, hold on a second. Yeah, on the 20th, the same fucking day, pardon my French, the same day, Venus is moving into the sign of Aquarius. 2 days after that, on the 22nd, she's going to square off with Uranus. But just because it's the 2 days afterwards doesn't mean that influence isn't already felt before that. Takia says, I've mastered the fake laugh. Yo, you and me both. So Just because it's the 22nd doesn't mean that you don't need to put a pin in it. We're all vulnerable to it. If there is a trigger in a relationship, if there's something that needs to be said, if there's something that has been bothering you, if you want a commitment, if you want to cement plans, I do not think that this is the time to do it. If you've been waiting for commitment, especially with Venus moving through the sign of now moving through the sign of Capricorn, so many of you guys are finding people that you can really see longevity and potential with, or if it's not a new relationship, it's in a current relationship. Now, for those of you guys that are single, I'll get to you in a second. But if it's in a current relationship, you really want to see maturity. You want to see growth, not only in 24 hours or 48 hours, promises, things that you're saying. I want to see action. I need you to prove it and show up again and again and again. This is not just a trend. This is our lifestyle. If you are agitated, if you are annoyed, this is the time where you're going to be like, you know what? It's like you frazzle, you break, and things can get lost in translation. So you really need to take time to pick and choose, because there's a lot of pressure that's happening, especially if you check Capricorn. Whatever it is that Capricorn rules, wherever it is that Saturn is transiting, whatever Pluto is transiting, those are the areas that you're probably seeing the most pressure getting pushed down on. And that trickles, that has a way of trickling into all areas of your life. So if you're pushing down and you're saying, well, what the fuck? I thought, why you dropped the ball on this again? Like, I thought you were going to do this. I expected this from you. You left me hanging. This is when you could really experience a splitation, an eruption, a separation within your relationship, because this person or you has had enough. And my problem with this is that if this is something that's been going on long term and you've been keeping it under a microscope and then, really wanting to expand and explore your options, like there's a lot of that energy going on in this chart right now. That's all well and good if it's been building up. But if this is someone or something that you are really trying to commit towards and build and strengthen communication and strengthen the relationship, it can get to a breaking point that feels like it can create a fracture that, I hate to say this, but I see this a lot with my clients, and I also see this a lot with my friends, where a fight that you have one day, maybe what is said in that moment is said and it makes a difference, like it fractures it, but it doesn't come up until months later, usually around an eclipse, a full moon eclipse or a solar eclipse. So I just want you guys, mark my words, I'm just letting you know. Now, if you're single and you are wanting to be in a relationship, or you're connecting with others, or maybe this isn't just, a romantic relationship, this could apply it to career, apply it to your boss, your siblings, your partnerships, or whatever. It's just dynamics that are not strong, that need additional support and attention, things that need to be discussed, things that we've tried to sweep under the rug or pretend like they don't exist. It's just a time where it's like, why haven't you texted me? What is going on? Or let's say you're not even, maybe it's not something that you do, it's something that the universe presents itself to you. Or you see something and your perception of it can heighten it, or your intuition takes you right into the mouth of the lion, where you're like, I literally was just going to the farmer's market and to get flowers for my altar and fruit for my belly, and I saw the person that I was talking to with someone else, and like, what the hell? Wasn't expecting that. My intuition told me to go at this time, and that's because the universe is putting you at the right place at the right time. I'm seeing a lot of you guys asking about if you're single. So if you're single, there is, and I can't speak for everyone, but I will say this, Capricorn energy and then moving into Aquarius has a tendency to be all or nothing. I don't feel like people talk about this enough. Capricorn energy, for the most part, if you're single, I'm single. So I literally, before I went live, I just told someone, I'm not even kidding you guys, let me pull up the receipts. Not that you asked for it, but I'm about to give it to you, because you guys know if I'm going to give it to you, I'm going to give it to you good. 6:33. I'm getting ready for, I'm dating or whatever, and I'm getting ready for Astro Live Chat. And this guy that has the potential to be a potential in my life, he's not even there yet, is giving me a hard time because he's like, well, what's going on? You're not good at communicating. And I'm like, literally, I just moved and I'm about to go live, right? So this is my work. You don't even know me. This is my work. And this is something that is important to me, my tribe, and it's a non-negotiable. But I can text you afterwards. I can text you when you're done. And he's just like, all right, well, I'm away. And it was like the energy was rude. But the reality is, it's like, I don't owe you anything. And to me, it's like, I know what I want. I know who I am. And there is no compromising when it comes to that. And if you're not ready to like communicate in the way that is, positive and constructive, and if you're accusing or accusatory, you're going to get snipped. And that's the energy that my single people are working with, which is like, if you're going to come, you need to come correct. Well, that's probably not the best way to say it. If you want to have a role in my life, make sure that you come correct. Make sure that you are mature, that you're not adding drama, because we will snip that out faster than we will consider it. And that's actually the way that it should be, especially now. Venus is moving through the sign of Capricorn. She knows exactly what it is that she wants. Saturn loves her. Saturn energy exalts, the energy that Venus brings. He literally loves it, and he secures it and supports it, and makes sure that she has everything that she needs. No distractions. You want to know why? Because he respects the energy and the beauty and the magic that she brings to this world. And if there aren't healthy boundaries, if there isn't, I know who I am, I know what I'm about, I communicate, like, if there's a miscommunication, we can communicate that, but don't come in with, accusing and like drama or trying to push anyone's buttons, nothing like that. So that's the thing, is that if you see, and I'm getting a lot of hearts, a lot of scissors, so a lot of you guys know that Christina says queen. That's because that's all of us. Melvina says, say that, sis. Someone's going to snip, 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 right? So what I'm seeing, it's not just me, you guys, it's you too. If you're single and you're mingling and you're in relationships, Venus moving through the sign of Capricorn does not have the time in the day for the bullshit, the BS, because we know what we want, we know what we're about, and we're solid and we're grounded, and it is what it is. And when you do find someone that can respect your work ethic, can respect your boundaries, knows how to communicate, is a solid person, makes you laugh, is grounded, isn't codependent or clingy or pulling on you, has their life, you have yours, then you guys have your life together, then, sorry, a comment just threw me off. Nike says, what if you're single and proud? And there's nothing wrong with that. Then this literally, like what I'm saying, translates maybe I get most questions about relationships and love, but this is what it is. Anything that is you value or that you prioritize. It could be a person, it could be a romantic relationship, it could be your spending, it could be your bank account. Shadows Light is giving me some bravo with the little fox and the stars. These little emoji things are just too cute. You guys have no idea how much I love emojis, and I appreciate the super chat. So you have those aspects of it where you're just like, okay, no, I'm not here for that. Like, that's a boundary. I don't like that. This is just no. But then you also have the sides of yourself that you're like, okay, there is potential here. So I will give to it in the way that is right for where we're at in our life or in our relationship or my paycheck or my bank account or whatever it is. For those of you guys who don't want to talk about relationships, that's fine. But I get a lot of questions about relationships, okay? So, so Venus moving through the sign of Capricorn. Also, Sun moving through the sign of Capricorn. Our minds are very determined. We're very focused. Mars moving through the sign of Scorpio. Still, this has been happening for the majority of December and also a good portion of November. This is, listen, like, I am very passionate. I know what I want. I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to become a victim to this. You're not going to make me, you're not going to manipulate me. You're not going to control me. You're not going to possess me. For some of you guys, that's because you have evolved. That's because you've stepped into your truth. The other side, I'm not going to lie, there's two different sides to this. There can be some of you guys that can fall victim to being manipulated, fall victim to being controlled, or you're trying to use your power, whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you, to manipulate and to control others. And you really want to be careful and mindful of that, because it's around this time, I'm telling you. Someone said, what if you're the opposite partner? Well, this is what I'm telling you right now. Around this time, it's the 20th, the 21st, the 22nd, and into the weekend, where the boundaries and the lines get blurred. And it's just like, listen, what you used to fall victim to, or what you used to be like, okay, you're right, I'm sorry. Now you're like, no, we're woke now. Like, we lived, we learned. I'm not, when I say as a tribe, I am not scarred by my past relationships or my past experiences, my past lessons, in a way that's going to stop me from living my life to the fullest, from me receiving. It's not going to be a blockage to me, but I'm not going to fall into the same pit holes. I'm seeing this a lot in my friend circle right now, where relationships are there's new boundaries that are being created. There's disconnections that needed to happen, separations that needed to happen, conversations, things that need to be heard, things that need to be said. All of these things are because it's like, listen, it's really bothering me. Like, this has really been bothering me, and I need to get it out. Now, when Venus moves into the sign of Aquarius, also on the 20th, but again, we want to look at the energy around that, because she is ready. She's getting really ready. She's kind of cementing things. She's seeing some things. She's making notes of things. It can really be all or nothing, where again, as Venus is moving to the sign of Capricorn, which is happening right now, it's Monday now that I'm talking about this. As she's moving through the sign of Capricorn, you can see the problems, you can see the solutions, and you're a little bit more patient. And then as soon as Venus moves to the sign of Aquarius, and we've got this potential for miscommunication, the potential to really take communication, hopefully, fingers crossed, to the next level. There's the potential for that, but there's also a really strong potential to be like, wait a minute, I don't know what you're saying. Like, what is it that you want? You want to just have clear, defined boundaries. And if there's too much pressure, if there's a misunderstanding, if you're like, well, this is what I want, then it's either, my way or the highway. And that person, make sure that if you're going to say it, make sure that that's what you actually want. Because when that person says, oh, it's your way or the highway, then that's cool. I'm going to take the highway then. And you're like, wait, what? You weren't expecting that. So make sure that what you're speaking, what you're saying, not just romantic relationships, but your career, your work, your family, your sisters, whoever, your friends, that you don't talk about it, be about it. Because literally it can shock you. It can create a surprise. It can be, I wasn't expecting that. Like, of course you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't expect it. Okay. The other thing is that it's not just, the words, it's the intention, the willpower behind it. Mars is moving through the sign of Scorpio. Mars is in his playground. Mars is in his home environment. Mars is our drive, our ambition. It's our energy. It's how we go about achieving things, how long we can stay on the treadmill, how long we can walk through the desert, because it's what we're passionate about. It's what ignites us. It's what fuels us. And with Pluto, it's not only what has fueled you and what you're passionate about and your ambition, it has a hold on you. It is yours. You feel it in your soul, your spirit, that this is mine. It is non-negotiable. I'm not going to take steps back. I'm only taking steps forward. And this is the direction that it is that I'm going. So it's these planets, they're coming together on the 22nd, the same time the sun moves into the sign of Capricorn, totally changing the game. This is like, the word that just came through is, it's a deal breaker, and it's a deal cementer. So it's not all bad. Again, it's like I was saying before, it's like, if you know what you want, and if you see something that you like and you're invested in it, you can put the money in, or save up for it, or build towards it, or gain it, or get enough momentum to get the ball rolling. But if it's not something that you like, you will, it will never really serve a real place in your existence. I said this I want to say 3 weeks ago. I put it in a YouTube video. talking about the energy of Capricorn, where it's not that Capricorn is using anyone or Capricorn energy. So it's not just Capricorns. I want you guys to hear me when I say this. It's not just Capricorns, it's Capricorn energy. It's like someone saying not a whole lot, and what they're saying isn't really anything, if that makes any sense. So it's like a person who says, I can think of one person in my life that is the perfect example of this, but I'm not going to mention their name because that would be too shady. But it's a person it's like, hey, I'm going to use this as an example. Hey, do you want, hey, Becky, do you want to go to the mall? Do you want to go to the mall to get Aunt Annie's pretzels? Because I fucking love Aunt Annie's pretzels, you guys. Holla if you hear me. I love Aunt Annie's pretzels. Their pretzels are so good. I love snacks in general. You guys know that. Snacks light me up. But okay, do you want to go to the mall to get Aunt Annie's pretzels? And then Becky says, I love going to the mall, and I love their pretzels. And it's like, yeah, me too. But it didn't answer the question. So it's like you didn't say a lot. When there's a lot of people who sometimes they spend so much time spinning a web with their words that it's like the best, that's how they like kind of shy away from it. Like from answering the question. It's a person who doesn't do all that so that you can't really catch up on it. They just don't answer the question. Oh my God, someone said yes with the honey mustard. Don't get me started on the honey mustard. Oh my God, the almond pretzels. I know, with the caramel dipping sauce. Ah! Love Aunt Annie's. Anyways, so it's like a person who says not a whole lot and they don't say anything. Like they don't say anything. So you're like, wait, what? Like, what? So that's kind of like the energy that Capricorn can bring, is that it's not that they're dragging you along, but they kind of are. It's like that vibe of a person. And this is not just a Capricorn. This could be anybody. This could be a Gemini. This could be a Libra. This could be a Virgo. This could be an Aries. They will keep you in the space that you serve until they figure out what they want with you, with the project, with the money, with the budget, with the grocery store list. They will say not a whole lot, but they won't answer the question unless they're in it. They're in it hard, bing, bang, boom, If you are confused, if you don't know where it's going, if you don't know what's happening, it's a no. That's something that's come through really clear this year for 2019. If there is confusion, it is a resounding no. This is not just relationships, you guys. This is also traveling. This is your purpose. This is the sofa that you're thinking about getting off of Wayfair. This is the Amazon order that you're thinking about placing. If you're confused, if you're not sure, the answer is no, not right now. Okay, so that's another way that you can use this energy. This is not only a way that is bad, you can also use this to good. Use this for good. You are allowed to not know. You're allowed to not have an answer. But if someone is relying on you, and you're dragging them on, then it's, morally, you should give them an answer. But if it's something like where you want to spend your money, because Venus rules not only beauty and love and relationships, but it also rules our money and our pocketbooks, okay? The things that we value, tangible things, all right? So I do want to say that the 19th is a great time this week around the 19th, to get focused, hyper-focused. This is not only talking about it. Again, this is like, don't talk about it, be about it. If you want to start a gym membership, set intention for the new year when it comes to your health, the 19th is the perfect time to be supported by the universe, to be supported by the stars and the cosmos, to set intention, especially when it comes to physical activity, when it comes to working out, when it comes to creating a business plan, when it comes to things that need longevity and momentum. This is because Mars, again, ruling our drive, our ambition, is moving through the sign of Scorpio, comes into a nice little sextile. So it's supporting and receiving the energy of Saturn. Saturn is moving through the sign of Capricorn. Saturn is direct. So these are a lot of things that you feel called, especially with Jupiter trine Uranus. You're getting these like aha moments, these awakenings, these tinglings, and these like feelings within your, crown chakra, your third eye, that in your stomach, your sacral chakra, that are telling you, because of the energy of last week. And I literally told you guys this. I was like, this week, your sensitivities are going to be high. Make a note of it. Don't act yet. There's going to be a time and a place to act. Or it might have been the week before that. I can't remember. But there's going to be a time and a place to act. This is that week to do things for yourself. Someone asked me if I relax my hair. No, I don't. I don't have any chemicals in my hair. This is all natural, but it's a silk press for those of you guys that asked, and I got my hair cut, and she did a really good job. I've been natural for years. Tasha says, is it a good time to have ... relations? Yes. If you mean relations like hookups and flings, yes. But make sure that you're being honest with yourself and that you're not convincing yourself. Let's say if you're the person that wants more for a relationship or wants more from someone, and you're like, oh no, I'm fine with us hooking up, but in reality you're really not, and you're just kind of like making yourself. You have to know yourself. You have to know yourself and know your truth, because there is this energy, this aura for this week, last week, and the week to come of self-deception. This is why it's so important for you to ground yourself and to connect with your vibes, especially your root chakra. Really ground yourself and center yourself, because it becomes clear as far as, listen, if this is just a physical thing, then if I feel feelings, or if I'm feeling something, I'm going to communicate it with you clearly. And then it's going to get, if you're feeling the same thing, then maybe this is a thing. Maybe this is a relationship. Maybe this could be going somewhere. But when it comes to, you really have to be honest with yourself. There's too many people now that are like, oh no, I'm happy with just a fling. I'm happy with just a hookup. And in reality, they're like, hoping that person changes. I've just been seeing that a lot with my readings that I've been doing for my clients and stuff like that. Really just kind of hoping when the person is doing exactly what it is that I've been saying a whole lot of nothing. And it's just because they don't know. There's a lot of energy, myself included. I have not, there's one person in particular that's on my radar right now. And even with them, I probably shouldn't be saying this on the internet, but even with them, like, I don't, I'm a girl who likes relationships. I like committed relationships. I've always been a relationship type of girl. If I'm not in a relationship, then I'm just strictly work and strictly myself. I don't date around. I don't hook up with random people. I've never been that way. I have a lot of friends that do. There's nothing wrong with that. I respect it. I almost wish that I could, have a little bit more playfulness, not only in that area of my life, but just like all areas of my life. Like, I was talking to my hairdresser earlier today. I got distracted. I was talking to my hairdresser earlier today, and she was like, she's a Cancer, by the way. She was just saying, she was like, I just learned how to watch TV because we are workaholics. And I'm like, I'm a Cancer rising and a Virgo sun girl, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So it's not just the physical side of like intimacy. It's just, fun in general. Like, to me, it's just, this is what I'm working on. This is my purpose. This is what I'm doing. It is what it is. Charlize says, be safe. It's true. If you guys are oh my God. If you guys are hooking up, you have to be safe. Remember how I was telling you about infections and we could talk candid, right? We could talk 100% honest here. Eric says, cough, cough. I got friends that do. Eric is my friend and also my assistant, but friend first and assistant. And he literally, when a hit dog hollers, Eric, I wasn't even talking about you, my guy. Yes, you're my friend, but I wasn't even talking. No, Big Cat Energy said, did she just call you out? Did y'all hear me say Eric? No, but did you hear Eric say Eric? Eric said it. Oh my God. I've got other friends than you, Eric. That's so funny. But yeah, it's, that's so funny though. But I mean, there is a really strong potential for Coley says, "Hey Jess, do you have any videos on how to ground yourself, tips on grounding yourself?" Sending lots of love. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I will do a video for you on that right now. Grounding yourself. So I've got that. I made a note. Thank you, my love. I really appreciate that. But remember I was talking about infections and body sensitivities? This is not the time that I see people getting pregnant because there's just too much in the chart. It's not impossible. If you have a solar return or a lunar return chart that is giving you the promise of pregnancy, then I can see that. But at least this week, I'm not seeing a whole lot of pregnancies happening. So it's not pregnancies that are concerned this week and the next. It's more getting hurt, like incidences, things happening, and also infections. So you really want to make sure that you're taking care of your body and that you're practicing safe sex. All right. I don't want to be everybody's mom, but I'm just going to be the Virgo here that wants to look out for your tribe. And it's better to, look out for yourself and make sure. And that's something someone says that was about the hookup thing. So you just want to be careful with that. Okay. Tasha says, yeah, I realize that you can catch the other person's energy. Do you think you could do a video on how to clean your energy after sex? Absolutely. One thing that I do for myself that I will say, because we're definitely deviating, is energetic ties, like actual visualizing the Mojo says, okay, mom. But visualizing the tie between you and that person. The other thing is that there's a misconception when it comes to cutting those ties. Sometimes you have to do it multiple times because the tie, it's like a cord, right? It's like a rope that gets twisted up and you have to keep cutting it. I'm going to say this really quickly. You have to keep cutting it, and there's different types of levels of ties. So we have physical ties, meaning like physical intimacy, then you have emotional, then you have spiritual. We're seeing that a lot with people talking a lot about soulmates and twin flames right now. I have an issue with that personally on YouTube, with that being a trending word, people calling out for it and not realizing exactly what is it they're getting themselves into, and making these karmic ties and these bonds, calling these things into their lives without actually being educated in it. And then wondering why they're traumatized walking out of the relationship, wondering why they, mess it, feel negatively impacted. Some of the larger YouTubers are talking about it, and I can't help but to shake my head and be like, I want to tell them, like, stop, don't say that. This is, the information that you're putting out there, it can really get a lot of people in trouble. It can create a lot of people obsessed and tied on to certain people and keep doing these pick a card readings and finding these confirmations to where their energy is currently at. And that's the problem that I have with pick a card readings. That's why you're never going to see me. Well, all right, I deviated from this. Okay. Stephanie Parker says, do you teach tarot or have courses? I would love to work with you. Yes, my love. Thank you for the super chat as well. And it is Sacred Circle Tarot School. Oh, and I'm also making a video for cutting ties after you do have sexual connections, relations with each other, either in the tribe or outside of the tribe. Okay. Michelle says, will you be creating any new Capricorn intention oils? Yes, my love. Actually, I think that's the 25th or the 26th. I'm not sure because that's going to be Christmas time and I'm actually going to be cooking for my family. And that being said, I have to get the Gemini oils out so that they can get shipped. Eric is going to be shipping them out. He's in New Orleans. So for those of you guys that are like, wait, why is my order coming from New Orleans? I create, and then I pack them up in a big old box. Shout out to UPS for providing free shipping boxes and flat rates. We send them out and then they pack and ship them for me, because when I was doing it, people were waiting 3 months for me to pack it. So shout out to my team that works really well with getting these things done. Okay. Vanessa says, Jess, damn it. I accidentally talked telepathically with someone last night. This person could hear my thoughts and vice versa. What the F is happening? That's a long question. It's complicated because I need the details of that. But in the meantime, Vanessa, thank you so much for your super chat. I really appreciate you. And I really appreciate that. Oh, one thing that I want to talk about, because we're at 54 minutes now, is my message that I was talking about earlier with dehydration. And the reason why you would think that this has something to do with water, but the message is not just on. That car is really loud. The message is not just on drinking water. So it's not, shout out to water here. It's more about, oh, can you guys see me? It's saying my connection is a little off. Okay. It's more about committing to your growth and to your progress, especially now. So my internet just cut out. For those of you guys that missed me say that, this is more about the earth side, the earth energy of things, with Jupiter moving through the sign of Capricorn, Saturn and Pluto, Sun moving to the sign of Capricorn. Even though I'm talking about dehydration, it's not water, it's earth. It's about knowing who you are. Can we talk and be real for a second? 2019, 2018 was largely transformative for so many of us in our personal lives, but also in our government, also in our system, right? So 2019, 2018 was wild. It was insane. The reason for that is because the world that we know it and the world that you knew it as, what you have become accustomed to, there were losses. There were a lot of people that are like angels walking on earth that got taken off of the earth because they had to transcend. And I know that that sounds really painful and really sad, but take it from someone who's worked a lot with the other side, with those who have passed on. It's better there than it is here. I've always believed that it's almost like hell on earth here, but you have to live out your truth. You have to live your purpose till the end of your life, till you die naturally, of natural causes. Okay? But during that time, I don't know why my nose is itching. You guys know how I am with spirit. When it starts speaking to me, my nose starts tickling. But during that time, we lost a lot of people who were literally earth angels walking here to help provide information. They could not stay here forever. They literally had to transcend, because that is going to help people to connect to the spiritual side and help them to reach out to spirit, to help them to connect with their faith, and to not, stay here on earth. We had to connect. We have to evolve. We have to move forward, right? So we lost a lot of people. Not only was it people, my nose is tickling, you guys. It's on fire right now. It's not only people, it's things, it's circumstances, it's places, it's habits. These are things that had to get removed. They had to get taken from our lives and evolved into the next form. That's the thing about energy, is that anytime something ends, anytime something dies, it comes back around in another form. It's born again in another form, in the way that best serves you, in the way that best serves its purpose. So it will come through. My third eye is like making me like wonky right now, and hopefully my connection doesn't get weird. But in the way that best serves you, so that you can connect with them, so that they can guide, so that we can do our work, because they literally are earth angels and they are not of this earth. They serve their time, they serve their place, and they move on to the next dimension. They move on to the next reality, right? So many of us, having experienced these major losses, transcending and cutting these cords and transforming huge chunks of ourselves. We are not the same person. We don't have the same priorities. We don't have the same perspectives. We don't have the same faith. That's because we have evolved, and we're all getting closer and closer and closer in unison, in alignment, right? But the thing is that as so much of this energy, everything is a wheel. Everything in life can be explained, in astrology and on the wheel of life. The cycles, they're all cycles. That's the only thing that's ever really truly been real when it comes to timing. So my nose, my God, is like lit up right now. If you guys see me tickling my nose or rubbing my nose, that's why. But the cycle continues. The cycle evolves. This is why right now on YouTube, there's this, this splitation or explosion, but also a splitting of certain psychics, certain intuitives sharing their gifts, and some people kind of abusing it or using it for fame or to make money or whatever. It is what it is. But the thing is that you're getting pulled, you're transcending, you're leveling up. That being said, the same you, the same lifestyle, the same habit, the same food, the same relationships, the same way that you think about things, the same way that you talk to yourself, the things that you're hearing, the things that you're consuming, the things that you feel, these are things that can no longer be a part of your existence into this new life that it is that you're walking into. It has to be transformed. It has to be released. It has to be let go of. This is why dehydration was the word that came through. This is not only about you committing to, okay, this week I was inspired by this message. I heard Just say this, or I saw this, it resonated as truth. This week, last week, this is just a metaphor. This is just an example. This is not my truth. I'm just using myself as an example, even though this is not what happened to me. This week, I felt worn out. I felt exhausted. I felt beat up. I felt broken down. So I decided in that moment, I'm going to put myself priority. I'm going to make myself a priority. I'm going to take care of my body, because all of these things in the cycle of my body all of them are so connected. Mind, body, soul, spirit, all of them. I'm going to make that a priority. Because of everything that I've gone through, now I have nothing. But then I realize in the nothingness, I have everything. So now I'm going to put myself first. I'm going to make sure that my heart is good. My mind is good. I'm focused. I'm open. My faith. So you hold on to that, because that whatever happened during that week, it transformed you. But 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the line, then you're like, oh, you're back to your old ways. You're back to eating junk food. You're back to taking the shortcut. You're back to taking the easy way out. You're falling in love with the comfort zone, because to step outside and to evolve would require work. It would require you to be humbled. It would require you to see your weakness and face it. It would require you to confront your demons. It would require you to be vulnerable. It would, I don't know why I can't talk right now, but it would make you have to level up and become the next greatest version of yourself. And what would that take from you? Some of you guys are afraid of the success that would come from you taking that first step. Some of you guys are afraid of what healthy would look like, because also with that becomes a responsibility. And so many of you guys have been falling back. A lot of people have been falling back because they're afraid of stepping into and being responsible for their own actions. They actually want a scapegoat. They actually want someone to that so that they can blame, so that they don't have to say that they couldn't do it, so that they didn't do it, so that if they fail, that it's, you have no one to blame but yourself. It takes accountability. It takes humility. It takes strength, ownership, you living out your soul purpose, to stand in your truth and to stand in that. To put the weight and the burden and be like, I am responsible for my destiny. I call the shots on this. With that, it sounds good on paper, but when you're living it, it's harder than it looks. It sounds better than it feels. And you're going to have to require to keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. So this is why dehydration was the word that came through today. This is what I believe. This is why I believe Spirit, our angels, my guides, came through and said dehydration is literally the word of the week, because it's not about filling your cup for this week and then being hydrated for 24 hours. No, this is a new lifestyle. This is a new life. This is a new life energy. You need to be committed. Why am I saying it this week? Well, because so much of the planets right now are crowded in the sign that rules longevity, that rules strength, that rules, living out your soul purpose and carrying it, carrying the baton. It's not about, taking the easy way out or taking shortcuts or, throwing things together haphazardly, because that's going to come and catch you in the ass at some point. You need to take care. It's not just one aspect of your life, it's all aspects of your life. All sides of you right now, all sides of you, spirit, the divine, the universe, God, your ancestors, your guides, your angels are saying, listen, take care of yourself the way that we would take care of you. Hydrate yourself, not only your physical body, but your spiritual, your mental, your emotional side. All of those things need to be filled, because if it's not, you are going to keep settling for less. You're going to be in a state of drought. You are going to be a thirsty ass bitch. You're going to be a thirsty person settling for less, suckling off of sugar fruit, like sugary high fructose people, high fructose situations, when you should be drinking real spring water, enjoying nectar, the fruits of this life, and not getting a cancer from it. We want you to have health and vitality, but the decisions that you've been making and that you're committing yourself to, get used to this new normal, because this old normal has been making you sick. Not only physically, but mentally it's been making you sick. It's been making you feel like you're less than. It's been making you feel like you're not empowered. It's been making you live in a truth that is not yours. That is a mindset that was passed on to you from one generation to the next. You now need to teach your parents what you have learned, and then you're going to teach your kids, and they're going to teach you. It's like this cycle that continues on. But there has to be a new normal. It has to be, you have to be suckling from something that is actually pure and not toxic and chemical. And some people actually decide to stay in that environment that is draining to them, that is cancerous to them, that is infecting them, because that is what they're used to, and they are scared to step out and go their own way, to take accountability, to be responsible for their actions. You know what I mean? I said what I said. That message came through so strong that it's not a trend. It's not a 24-hour thing. It's not a 48-hour thing. It's not a week thing. This is the rest of your life. And there's 700 people in here right now. There's some of you guys are going to take this message and you're going to commit to it. And you're going to make affirmations for yourself. You maybe need to change your wallpaper on your phone. Maybe you need to tattoo it on you to remind you, because I've actually done that. That's why I have my blade right here for my own personal journey. Maybe you need to put a Post-it note or whatever. But it's you know, how long does it say? How long do they say to make a new habit? It's whatever, like you're making a new habit for yourself. So you're breaking free. Capricorn is so interesting because Capricorn energy and Saturn energy, or Saturn in general, also it can create commitment. It can create bonds, businesses, you know, a lasting relationship, a lasting marriage, health, vitality, strong bones, strong, you know, continent. That's not the right word. Like a strong physical body, right? Okay, so you guys are saying 21 days? Perfect. Thank you, Eric. So it can really create the strong bones, the roots of your foundation, but also Saturn rules the devil card, right? And there, in my eyes, there's no such thing as an all bad or an all good. It's just truth, right? It's just energy at the end of the day. So you can choose to create with Saturn energy the firm foundation, the new lifestyle, the new routine, the new regimen that's going to build money, bang, bang, boom, keep it going. Or you can fall victim to it and fall back into the hands of the devil. The devil card, the shadow aspects of it, the sides that we don't, you know, that they may not serve us in the best way. We can choose to fall back into the hands of it, the grip of it, and say, you know what? I allow myself to be chained to this. I allow myself to be choked by this. I allow myself to be smothered by this, because this is what I've believed that I deserved this entire time. I was abused one time. I was violated one time or a few times. And because of that, because this is what my brain was trained, this thing that I've told myself, this mindset that I kept hearing, now I repeat that same voice in my head. And now I will only allow myself to receive violation after violation after violation after violation. instead of lifting that chain off of my neck and getting myself the help and starting this new life that I actually fucking have always deserved. And so many of you guys are literally like this orchid flower that popped off earlier today. All of the beauty, all the potential in the world. The orchid is one of the most beautiful flowers next to the peony, in my opinion. Even more beautiful than a rose, in my opinion. I mean, everything serves its purpose, but this is just my personal preference. I will commit every day to making sure that my orchids are watered the way that they should be, which is a very exact, specific thing, right? I mean, you can't overwater, you can't underwater. It has to be fucking moist. I hate that word, but that's what it has to be. And I value the beauty, the energy, the essence of all that the orchid is. So I will do whatever it takes to make sure that this orchid will not only grow and stay alive, but it will thrive and it will continue to flower and to bloom, right? So but there are also things that are outside of my control. And some of you guys you have been literally picked up and placed in new environments where you can actually thrive and bloom. Some of you guys did this by yourself. Others have been guided, and some of you guys have support systems, right? But either way, this is a new life for you. This is a new energy. This is a new essence. And if it's worth it to you, you will do whatever it takes because it's important to you and it's a value to you. And I'm just asking that you guys see the value in yourself individually and that you commit to yourself in the same way that your angels, your guides, the divine, the higher power, the universe would invest in you and wants to take care of you. But you have to help it. You have to help it along, and you have to stop feeding yourself things that are, zapping away from your precious energy again and again and again. And you have to be unapologetic. I just looked at the clock. It's 1:11. We've been on here for 1 hour and 11 minutes at my time of looking at this. All right, you guys. So that is my message for this week. On that note, I went for a walk and I'm going to drink my water. I'm going to stretch my body. I'm also seeing a lot of you guys, last thing, there's a lot of this going on this week, and I find that so beautiful. This is not only just relationships and partnerships, but it's things that is you love, your soul purpose, right? Really. And then also the Lover's card is here. Look, the High Priestess is here. The Judgment card is here. The Sun card is here. Yeah. The Hermit is here. I love the energy of these cards. I really do. All right, you guys. Legit, I freaking love you guys so much. You have no idea. Jade says, you're so refreshing. This explains why I've been so excited today. Yay. That means a lot. I love that word, refreshing. Thank you, guys. But I'm going to leave now, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Every Monday, we go live. Let me check really quickly. We go live at 7 p.m. Okay, so the 23rd, we can go live that day. That's next week, and then it's Christmas. The 30th, I believe that we will be going live. But don't wait until the 30th to set your intentions, you guys. Do it the 26th, the 27th, or the 25th. For those of you guys that are waiting for Gemini oils, those are going to be going out this week. They just need to get sealed up. There's a 3-day grace period, and then you're going to start seeing them shipping out. I don't know if I'm going to be doing new moon oils that time, but I will be setting intention. Okay? I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you hopefully in the next live chat. Make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel because I, it's my work. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. Am I still live?